You have probably noticed that making long-term plans have become harder lately. In this episode, we will explore why our brain resists long-term thinking and how the modern world actually makes it even worse, and how to reawaken a sense of direction. The future is getting harder to plan and harder to care about. Let's try to make sense of it. You know you should be thinking about your future, but it just doesn't feel real. It feels a little bit empty. Your brain isn't designed to prioritize long-term thinking. It's designed to prioritize immediate consequences. For 99% of human history, our life expectancy was around 30 years. That means for most of our time on Earth, the brain didn't have much reason to plan beyond a few seasons. Survival meant reacting to what was actually in front of you. Food, shelter, conflict, rejection, pain, and even now in a modern world where hopefully you're not hunting, fleeing, or starving, our brain still favors now over later. Why? Because it can see now, it can feel now, it can smell now, and because of that, it can respond to it. Later is vague. Modern life is changing faster than our minds. Technology evolves exponentially. The economy always feels somewhat unstable. Jobs, systems, governments, even values, all are shifting in real time. And the faster change happens, harder it becomes to imagine a reliable future. It's not that you don't want to have a plan. It's that your nervous system doesn't feel safe betting on a world it can no longer predict. So instead, it doubles down on what it knows. This hour, this day, this dopamine hit. You start living in reaction to your present rather than moving towards something meaningful and designed. When was the last time you did a plan for your future? Not a task list, not a dinner reservation, but a general life direction. Let me know in the comments. And in a moment, I'll share why even a failed plan can still be beneficial for you. So it's good to have a plan. When you lose touch with the future, you lose more than motivation. You lose orientation. Your days start to blur. You start to wake up and react. You only put out fires and you scroll for relief. You say things like, once things calm down, or after this week, everything will be under control. But that week never ends. And after a while, you stop thinking about your future. Not because you gave up, but because your system just adapted. Without a mental connection to our future, our values tend to fade. So our meaning tend to fade. Because you're no longer living towards something. You're just trying to survive the current day. People avoid planning because they are burned by it. Plans tend to raise hopes. And hope makes you vulnerable. When the world feels unstable, when we have been let down before, a plan starts to feel like a setup of disappointment. So instead of reaching forward, you stay in the loop, handle today, react to problems, avoid imagining too far ahead. It feels safer this way. Because if you don't imagine the future, you don't have to grieve the gap between your target and where you are actually. That safety comes with a cost. Eventually, a shrinking sense of self. Here is something most people miss. Even if your plans fail, even if nothing goes expected, you still change something vital within you. You change your mental horizon. Because in order to make the plan, you had to imagine being in the future. You had to imagine a version of yourself beyond this moment. You had to picture what is important for that future self, what they might want, what they might need, what they might regret, and what they might thank you for. That mental stretch is the real value of planning, and you can trigger it anytime. What kind of a future do I want in X amount of years is a very easy mental exercise that you can do. This video shifts how you think about your future. Go watch our episode on why you feel tired even when you do nothing. Because your energy doesn't randomly appear. It shuts down when your nervous system sees no reason to activate it. This is Existential Help Desk.